All right, well, live from the other side of the vortex, this is Property Management with Alex Deacon. It's real estate investing with Alex Deacon, but it's a property management series. The vortex joke is something from before we were taping. I apologize.
It's not a joke. It's going to happen.
The world's ending in a couple days, so by the time you guys hear this and it's published, we're going to be through a black hole vortex, which I thought was just my Oakland Raiders leaving Oakland, and we're just never going to see them again in Oakland, but maybe we're talking a completely different vortex here.
It's coming. It's on the way.
It's on its way.
Yes.
It's the end of the world as we know it. Hey. All right, Mr. Deacon. My horrible singing aside.
Well, just in case it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Just in case. So we'll run this podcast like it's not going to happen. But if it does,
just in case.
It's nice knowing you folks.
It was a good run.
Yeah. So let's get started. What are we going to talk about today?
Today, I think since we're going property management, the Deacon wants to talk about quality versus quantity. And
yes.
I think this is a great way to start off. So, Alex, take it away, good sir.
Yeah, we do talk a lot about this, too, in the flips that, in the other sessions, like we're talking about flips, or even when you're buying your rentals, or, I don't know, I just think in a lot of different aspects of life, right? Quality versus quantity, I guess. I'm a firm believer in it just because I've made so many errors and mistakes, and I've seen so many other investors make the same mistakes over and over and over again that it just I become numb to it. And I think when I talk to some of my potential clients who call me, like I talked to somebody yesterday, and I was a little cold to them because I got just like tired of talking about the same mundane subject that I have to talk about and explain to someone who's buying in this area, and I know a tremendous amount and they don't, and I have to try to explain this all to them in 5 minutes.
Right.
And it's like
it's hard to do.
I just like to get to the point. I almost want to say, yeah, that property sucks. Don't buy it, and we're not going to manage it. That's what I want to say sometimes because I know, I just know. But the caveat is, I also tell them at the beginning, look, I'm going to probably be harsh to you when we talk initially because I'm only trying to help you.
Right.
If you want me to say, I think you should buy this, I think your life's going to be 100% better, I think you're probably going to be able to quit your job in a couple more years if you buy a couple more of these, and you're going to ride off in the sunset on a white horse. If you want me to say that, I could, but I'm not that person.
Right.
I'm trying to help you, and sometimes helping you hurts me financially. Because I turned down a lot of business based on my gut feeling about the person I'm talking to and my gut feeling about the property. And I'd rather turn down your business than have an unhappy client. It's very easy to have a lot of unhappy clients in this business. We've had them before. We've had too many properties. We shrunk back down to a manageable amount, and now we're up to a certain amount that's most of my property owners are happy.
Right.
You're never going to please everybody. It's a hard business to please everybody.
And we do live in a world now where people unfortunately don't like just blunt, honest truth. So I think I appreciate the fact that I'm sure the agents that you deal with and other investors you deal with probably appreciate the fact that you are just brutally honest, because that cuts a lot of the BS middleman stuff. Time is money, and why waste time when you get straight to the point?
Yeah, and I feel for the person on the other line who's talking to me that they don't know me. I just sound like some arrogant dude who just wants to get you off the phone.
Right.
I don't. I just want to get to the point, and I want to share with you what I feel about this, no holds barred. And then if you want to take my advice and run with it, that's fine. But I don't want to paint a rosy picture unless there's a rosy picture to be painted.
Which is fair, and I think that's admirable. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
So, again, we usually pick out these topics because of maybe what happened this week. So I had talked to a gentleman a few days ago, and he had asked me that, I'm buying this property in this area. I heard you do property management. Can you call me? I called him. I said, hey, how are you doing? What can I help you with? This is what I need. I need to know what you guys do. So there we go. The whole spiel. What do you do? Well, where do you want me to start? We do everything from fix toilets to evict deadbeat tenants to handle fires to handle triple murders that we found at one house.
That's real?
Yes.
Oh, my
to
God.
handling
Wow.
just...
Well, then.
Just to handling the basic stuff like collecting rent and billing back a water bill. We just did a property recently that I owned and I sold, and then the new owner got a $9,000 past due water bill out of nowhere. So now we have to research, why is this water bill $9,000 when we as the management company have been paying it every month for the past 2 years?
Wow.
And you're dealing with PWSA, which is the water company in this area, and they're
not easy to deal with.
Very difficult. So when you want me to explain what do you do, there's about a minute's worth of a full volume that I could go into detail on. So what I'll do is I'll let people know, we do everything a landlord would do. Okay? But if you want to know the details, we have a frequently asked questions attachment, and we have these podcasts, and we have some other stuff online. And I say, can I have your email address? I'm going to send you over all that information. You can listen to these podcasts at your convenience in your car, going to work or at home. And then you can also go through the frequently asked questions page. Once you listen to some of those podcasts and go through those questions, most of your information is going to be there. Mm-hmm. Then whatever questions you have after that, then let's talk.
Right.
So that was how I started that conversation.
Because and really, and I think the reason why you do that and why it's smart, at least for me, somebody that's not an investor myself, it cuts out all the riff-raff so that somebody really knows whether or not they want to talk to you, or get involved with you when it comes to property management, or if they need your services or not. And then that way, when you do finally get that call, it's the meat and potatoes of the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. I'm looking through some of what our podcast titles were. Let's see, one was what a property management company doesn't do. Mm-hmm. Property management, what is it? Property management, finding new tenants, problem tenants, repairs and contractors, frequently asked questions, pricing your rental. So this is all, so if you're a person who just wants to learn the business or learn about how MACE does their property management or just how most companies do it, you can start listening to some of these podcasts. And by doing that, that answers a lot of questions, and it also creates a lot of questions.
Correct.
Right? Because you're like, oh, gee, I never thought about that. I have 3 more questions that made me think of. So,
which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm. So the conversation went, go ahead there to the website, check out the frequently asked questions, and then let's talk at a later date. But I said, then what are you buying? He goes, I'm buying a property in this area. Okay, well, what's the address? And he said, I live out of state. I'm like, okay, so what's the address? So I'm looking at the property online. I'm not his agent. I'm not going to make any money by selling it, by him buying it. He has his own agent. I looked at it and I said, here's what I think about the property. I don't like it. I don't like the area. It's a busy street. It's a C to D plus area. Mm-hmm. You're not going to attract very good clients there. Tenants. I'm looking at the 24 pictures that are posted online, and I'm looking at the pictures. I'm already seeing potential water problems. I'm seeing a lack of parking. I'm seeing some cracks in the garage foundation. I'm looking at the interior of the units, and I'm saying, well, they're kind of run down. When that tenant moves out, you're probably going to need to do a new kitchen, new floor, new bathroom. I'm seeing a money pit.
Right.
And based off of what I see in the pictures, what I know about the area, and what I see with the sale price of that property, I said, we probably would not be interested in managing this for you, number one. So number one, I'm cutting myself out of any potential money making.
Right.
Which I would think is like what every salesperson should never do. Okay? And 2, I told him that I don't believe this is a good opportunity for you. You live out of state, how much experience do you have? Well, I have experience in buying in other parts of the country. Well, that's good, but understand you're calling me. I feel like I'm an expert in the area, and I'm just trying to help you. If you were a friend or my aunt or my cousin, I would tell you the same thing. I probably would take a super close look at this, have somebody inspect it very closely, maybe have a contractor come in and give you some prices before you put hand money down and make an offer. But even with that being said, you can only shine that turd so much.
Right.
So it's only going to be the shiniest turd.
Right.
And it's not ever going to be a diamond.
No.
So I would, if it was me, unless you're here managing it and you live close by and you're dealing with all the crap that you have to deal with on this particular property, I wouldn't suggest buying it. But right now, we're not interested in managing it, unfortunately. You need to do a little better quality for yourself and for us.
And that's honest. There's nothing...
And I was like, maybe I was having one of those days where I was spent. I was pretty much spent, so
right.
I was a little more coarse than I usually am. I like to be less coarse, less abrasive. But he kind of took it the offensive, or he was defensive a little bit. Like, well, I do have some experience. I'm like, I understand that, but you don't have the experience I have, and I'm only trying to help you.
Right.
And I'm only trying to do this quickly because, it's 5 o'clock, and I want to get home to my family, and I want to spend time with my loved ones.
Yep.
And I just want people, when they call me, and this is unfair for them, but for me, I just want you to trust what I say 100%.
Right.
And there's no way anybody who calls is going to trust me 100%.
Right.
Who is this guy?
Right.
I'm going to trust him. He might not know nothing about nothing.
Right.
So for me, I just want, I want to get my point across, and I want you to trust me 100%, which is unfair for me to expect someone to do that. But that's the kind of taste in his mouth I left. But then he emailed me the next day and said, thanks for the information you sent. And he had a couple more questions. So we just started building a rapport.
Good.
So.
Good.
But where it's going to lead, I don't know.
But that's good. I mean, I think especially, for somebody that's not in this market, is out of state, not knowing anything about the area. I mean, in a way, maybe sometimes it's almost tough love in a way,
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
It is, absolutely. That's a good way to put it. Yep.
So what else about quality versus quantity here?
Okay, so just you have to keep in mind that as a property manager, so I'm trying to help the customer or the potential customer or client stand in my shoes. And from my view, we have to pick properties, and we have to pick property owners who are a good fit for this recipe for success. So what I mean by that is, if you have a crappy property like the one I was just talking about, but you have an owner who fully understands everything that can go wrong, and is fully aware that this is going to be an uphill battle, and is fully aware that they're going to have to spend money to make this property what it can be,
right?
Then sometimes I'm willing to take that property on, even though I know that property is not that nice. When I want to go see it, I might want to say, okay, I really like you as an owner. I want to go see the property. And if I can help you, I will. If I see the property and I say, no matter what you do, it's not going to change. You're still going to have a dog. We're still going to have a headache on our hands as far as management. Headaches for us just trickle downhill. Unfortunately, poop rolls downhill, and it rolls through the management company into the owner's lap.
Yep.
Because the owner's ultimately responsible for tenants who aren't paying rent, for repairs, for lawsuits, for damages. They're responsible for that. We do everything we can to prevent all of that, but the more hurdles you put in the recipe, the more potential problems you're going to have. So I will take on a property that I'm not fond of if the owner's super awesome, okay? But then you might have a super quality property. Like, so I might see a really, really nice investment property, and the owner says, yeah, I own this. I want you guys to manage it, but I want you to do it for 1%, and I want emails every 2 days, and I want to talk to somebody once a month and go over my numbers every month for at least a half an hour. The unrealistic expectations. So I don't care if you're a doctor making $1 million a year and this property's is $1 million property or more. It doesn't fit well with us because I can't have you treating my staff like that, or expecting my staff to tailor all their time and efforts to your one property. There's no real estate company who's going to do that. There's no management company who can handle that. So what I mean when I say quality versus quantity, not only should you, the homeowner, or investor, focus on quality properties, but you should also focus on quality management companies. Okay, so it's not always the lowest price, and because believe me, if you're doing management for 1 or 2 or 4 or 5%, that company's not making money, or they're taking money somewhere else. They're beating you up on repairs or something.
Right.
For me, quality versus quantity means I have to have a quality owner and a quality property. That's a home run for me, right? A quality owner and not a quality property, I'm still willing to help. If it's a not quality owner and a not quality property, it's a no-win situation for me.
Right.
We're never going to be able to make that person happy. We're never going to make that property profitable. And then what happens there? We get unhappy tenants, unhappy owner, unhappy reviews, bad business.
Right.
So I don't take it personal, and nor should you. If I happen to talk on the phone to you and I sound a little abrasive.
Right. Sometimes straight and to the point. That like I said, it's a shame that we live in a world that's straight and to the point does sound abrasive, but it does though sometimes because it's a very busy.
I don't think we are as abrasive as we should be in some respect. You know,
I agree with that.
Everybody
too.
just is on their tiptoes. They don't want to say certain words now, and even if you say them out of context, you're considered something evil. I just like to be upfront and honest with people because we all want what's fair.
Best, yeah.
We want what's best, and I'm just looking out for your best interest. If I don't think I can look out for your best interest, then I don't deserve your business.
Right. That's a good way to look at it. Let's see. So what else we got?
Quality versus quantity. I think we probably covered it more. I mean, it was just mainly. It wasn't. I mean, we've talked about this so many other times in different
little
venues.
sections here and there.
Different sections. But this was concerning. Just to recap, I guess, as a property owner, if you're going to be buying, it's better to spend a little more money buying a better area and focus on that quality versus looking at the bottom line. What's my return going to be? Because your return will not be that much just because of different variables, which we discuss in other ones. Here, let me give you an example. I'm in the process of buying a townhome now. If the deal goes through, it's a $150,000 townhome. I'm getting a really good deal. I'm getting it for like $127,000.
Okay.
So that's a really good deal. And that's like 15% less than market value. And in a hot market, in a townhome that's 10 years old, that's unheard of.
Right.
That doesn't come around that often. Trust me. So, if I buy this, I would pay my property management company a percentage. I pay them a smaller percentage. I get a discount because I own the company. But I do pay them to place a tenant. I do pay them to do all the work. I'm going to basically break even, possibly lose $100 a month.
Okay.
Oh, well, why would you do that, Alex? Well, because I'm buying it with zero money down. So I'm borrowing all the money. I'll refinance it. I'll get all my money back. I'll refinance out of that hard money loan. Get all my money back. I'll owe, after all bank fees and refinance costs, whatever, I'll have like $132,000 into it, right? But it's worth $150,000. And then next year, it's going to be worth $156,000. And then next year after that, it's going to be worth $161,000. The next year after that, it's going to be worth $165,000. Every year, it's going down in my balance is being reduced, right? So I owe $132,000 this year. Next year, I'm going to owe $129,000, and next year I'm going to owe $125,000. So in 5 years, I owe $120,000. It's worth $180,000. Okay, so now, even though I lost, let's say, $1,000 a year for the past 5 years, I lost $5,000. I bought it with zero money down. Lost $5,000 over the past 5 years. I get to write off all those losses and depreciation of the property and such. Okay. But now on my balance sheet, I have an asset that I owe $120,000 and it's worth $180,000. So I'm $60,000 richer on my balance sheet, and most likely the rent's going up a little bit. So that loss every month is probably going to eventually go away and maybe be a break even.
Right.
But I will take those deals all day long versus buying something in a C-class neighborhood where, oh yeah, I'm going to make $400 a month cash flow, but then the building I own is 90 years old, so yeah, I'm making all this money, maybe $5,000 a year in profit. All of a sudden I get hit with a $10,000 sewer line
that
just collapsed.
Right.
Or $400 gas line, a $4,000 gas line, or a roof, that's $10,000.
Right.
So that cash flow is nice, but it can go away like that, with one major repair on a very old structure, and plus you're dealing with that society of lower income, and that comes with challenges and problems.
Right. And that's where a larger portfolio doesn't necessarily mean that you have a better portfolio,
Yeah, people ask me, how many units do you own? I go, well, like 120, but I wish I owned about 10.
Isn't that like the how much you bench? How much you bench?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're not a real man. You don't have this many properties.
Then you have two thick legs and you fall over. But yeah, it's quality, I feel, is better than quantity. Mm-hmm. But I think that covers it.
That covers?
Yeah.
That covers. I think that's a good one, though. I mean, that's a good one. That's so. And again, what you're saying to put because we always like to tie a bow on it, is if it comes to impulse, take feelings out of it, use facts, and just remember quality over quantity. Think, is it really going to fit your portfolio? Is it something you want to hang on to long term? Mm-hmm. So, all right, Alex, thank you. For what did we get in here? About 20 minutes? That's a good one, right? 20 minutes was good?
It was awesome.
Guys, if you're listening to this, I would imagine it's probably after Christmas, or maybe it's a day before Christmas. I'm not sure when I'm publishing this, but Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody out there. Happy New Year, all that jazz. From everyone here at Deacon Hoover Real Estate. Right, good sir?
Yes.
You're like, sure, yeah.
Merry Christmas to everybody, and have a great new year in 2019.
Wow, we're almost at, my daughter and I were just talking about it, almost at 2020. Almost a turn of the century. But for Alex, for myself, for everybody here at DHRE, we thank you. And for MACE Property Management, go to PittsburghPropertyManagement.com. Go to DHREA.com for Deacon Hoover Real Estate. Find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts. Just type in Deacon Hoover or Alex Deacon to your favorite podcasting service. Twitter, YouTube, Instagram now, and Facebook. Just search Deacon Hoover. You will find us there too. We're all over the place, guys. So reach out to us. Send us your topics if you want us to cover a certain topic, and send us any feedback you have. We thank you again, and we'll see you next time.